Now, Fox 54 Top Teachers, sponsored by Calhoun Community College.
Welcome to this special edition of Fox 54's Top Teacher. I'm Kenesha Dees. Every school year, we profile educators from across the Tennessee Valley who prove their dedication to their children day in and day out. And they do this 9 months out of the year. We've met science teachers, history teachers, bilingual educators, and even a drama teacher. They're truly a joy to witness. Let's now go through the pages of our 2024-25 yearbook and get reacquainted with our Fox 54 Top Teachers. Here they are.
How can we solve
Welcome to
This is my first time in public schools.
Briley Borden's 4th grade class.
I've always loved math. I've always wanted to be a math teacher.
Borden also teaches science at Wheaton Elementary School.
Plant and animal what? What's our big buzzword we've been talking about this week?
And although she's green to teaching public schools with a shirt to prove it,
We're gonna write 5 adaptations of that animal.
she's expecting a lot of success from her 4th graders.
I'm just looking forward to seeing the progression of growth, seeing where they came from and seeing how far we can push them and their number sense and, their conceptual understanding about math and, diving into science, doing some experiments.
She says she's put in the time too, at one point walking into school at
6:30.
and then
I walked out of here at 7:30, so just being able to, really commit to it, put it first and do all that you can to make it always reflecting.
So for some people, it's no surprise.
Congratulations, you have been chosen as Fox Top Teacher, Fox54 Top Teacher.
She was surprised as a top teacher. Her principal, Daphne Hogan, says she's setting a standard.
She's already proven herself at the beginning. She's a hard worker. The students love her, so hoping we're off to a great start, and this will continue throughout.
Borden with a bit of hope for her students.
Just being someone that they can love on, that know, I love you, I care about you, I want the best for you. So yeah, it's really all about the kids.
Show me your favorite color. Blue.
What started as a part-time opportunity for Dawn Estrada
I had a knack for it apparently, and I got told that I needed to stop subbing and get in here full time.
became a total day in and day out commitment, making a difference. Estrada has worked 12 years as a paraprofessional in special education.
This is the world I want to be in. I want to be able to give to them what they deserve to grow and to prosper.
8 of those 12 years, Estrada spent right here at Columbia Elementary School working together with teachers and other paraprofessionals.
We're a team, and I want to be an integral part of the team, so whatever I'm doing, I want to make sure I'm offsetting the role of the teacher so that she knows she's in good hands.
And according to her peers, Dawn is a critical part of that team of educators.
She is known for showing up every day with a heart and a will to do whatever it takes for our students.
Her peers say she diligently pours into her students for success.
Miss Dawn is able to work with 1 student or 2 students at a time to ensure that students are making progress.
And for Dawn, it's more than her commitment to her students and peers.
It makes me feel like I'm contributing to their well-being for the parents' sake, because I can imagine being in the parents' shoes of having to live with this for life. And so if we can offset that in the school setting on any level so the parents have a sense of well-being for their child here, that's what I'm going to give to them.
Ready?
In Sharon Livingston's class,
Let the battle begin.
students are living out history.
We are reenacting the defeat of the Spanish Armada by the British. So this was a pretty large naval battle. We throw paper balls, and how they move depends on if they were Spanish or British.
Livingston teaches freshman students, spending 14 years overall in education, and this being her 4th at Westminster Christian Academy.
I have always loved history, probably fell in love with it in middle school when I started reading historical fiction.
And one of her students, Carolee Kaufman, can see Livingston's love for history.
You can really just tell that she enjoys teaching us. Even if we do go through some rabbit holes, like she enjoys talking about them and she really knows what she's talking about.
Kaufman says it's a good start to her freshman year and beyond.
This class really just helps me get excited for the rest of the
my high school career.
And like Kaufman, Livingston's peers appreciate her innovative approach to teaching.
We're very grateful to have Miss Livingston. She makes learning fun, and she also meets the students where they are. So we feel like as a Christian school, Jesus is the best example of a teacher, and he treats his disciples differently based on what they need. Miss Livingston definitely does that in her classroom.
But Livingston hopes her lessons carry far beyond acting out history in the moment.
Hopefully, and with my subject in particular, is continuing to remind them that this really does connect to them. Like, they're a few years from voting. What foreign policy do you want the American government to follow? What do you feel on these issues? And I hope they view my class as being a piece of that.
In Caleb Holloman's class,
all right, has anyone won yet?
There's no learning without fun.
Growing up, I always loved reading.
So it's no surprise he's taught English and language arts for 2 years at Union Hill School.
We're actually studying our vocabulary using an online website called GimKit.
The bunch he has, Holloman says it's a must to get creative.
7th and 8th graders, they think that they're too cool for school.
And a must to get competitive.
In my class, there's always competitions, and I have a lot of little prizes they can win.
The prizes vary.
There's a lot of incentives, but a lot of kids don't want the $50 bills. They want the random 1 can of spaghetti and meatballs.
For Holloman, his philosophy is fun, to make the lessons stick.
If I'm excited and I make the lessons exciting for them, they really get engaged.
Just ask one of his students.
He's a teacher that I wouldn't forget.
Mason James Davis. He said he's had Holloman for 2 years now.
It's so fun. Even the little events like we're doing now, like little games.
The school's principal, Dee Dee Hendricks, says the fun hardly ever stops in Holloman's class.
That's what makes Mr. Holloman stand out. He does engage them from bell to bell.
Holloman says his whole approach to teaching is different, even with his
tattoos, mohawks.
He says he still feels accepted from the peers he works with and the students he works for.
They looked right past it.
But Holloman believes it's bigger than just teaching ELA and his students learning.
The English language arts, it's about subtlety. It's about the abstract. Not everything's concrete. So I want them to be able to think for themselves.
Pre-K is where Brittany Green finds her passion.
I absolutely love early childhood.
She says during this time is when the students' light bulbs light up.
This age, they're beginning their education.
Green's been teaching pre-K for 5 years and found out
they still love you.
And in her classroom,
every day is a new day.
Green says her love for school goes back when she was in school.
I knew this is it was my calling. I knew that that's what I wanted to do.
And now that she's a teacher, she says her kids have a lot to learn.
For early childhood pre-K, we're very hands-on, and we've just learned 5 sentences. So with the letter of the week, they are seeing it, they're touching it, they're hearing it. Even that week, we learned to taste.
They even have a theme of the week. This go-round was all about apples.
Each center has something apple-related in it. They are supposed to be investigating the pieces of apple.
There's a sensory table.
They have got oats and cinnamon sticks.
And an apple market too. But it's not just inside the classroom that Green makes an impact. Her principal says she has a servant's heart.
This past year, she organized a school supply drive for our school to where it was able to take the financial burden of purchasing school supplies off of our parents. She's definitely a great role model for a lot of us to look up to, and just also her children. They love her, they adore her.
When Green's kids move on to kindergarten, she hopes they continue to carry good character.
My biggest thing with my kids is that they learn how to be kind, they learn how to be respectful, and they know that they're loved, and they gain a passion for learning.
Jill Woods is a planner.
Golden Gala.
And she's a planner for the big events you'll see on campus.
There's going to be a huge center ring.
Woods is a family and consumer science teacher teaching for 24 years, 12 of those at Lawrence County High School, home of the Red Devils.
Come up with a pattern.
Take a walk in one of her classrooms and you'll see.
We have an event planning class, so we plan the prom, we plan different events in the community.
In fact, planning for prom is what students say is the busiest event.
Prom. Yes, we're all over it.
10th grade student Charlie Mitchell has taken Woods for 2 years now.
It's the best one out there. That's what keeps bringing me back, is the
Miss Woods is the best. I love you, Miss Woods.
And Woods shares the same sentiment.
I love the students, like to be involved in their lives, to be able to help them be the best they can be. That's what brings me back every single day.
In addition to planning for school events, Woods is big on teaching her students important life skills.
She is wonderful with the children. She treats everyone like they're hers. And she teaches our students the basic skills that they need at home, but she also gives them the extra that they need just to get through life.
Woods hopes her students leave her class with more than they came in with.
I hope that students, when they leave my classroom, they know they were loved and they have something that makes them better than they were when they got here. To be a better person, to help them in their career, and to go out and be involved and contribute to our society.
Welcome.
Ready?
To Casey Shrum's
Steady?
classroom.
Going.
The relationships that I'm able to form with these kids, they're so valuable.
It's a critical first year for her students.
I just love being able to be the person that sets that foundation for them to learn and grow and continue on.
It's Shrum's 4th year teaching, and 3 of those years she's taught kindergarten.
We did it! Kiss your brains.
Shrum does activities like these, counting in units of 10. Her goal is to be interactive.
All of the ways that we can incorporate games and fun into learning, it makes them remember it so much more easier.
Teaching the foundation of arithmetic, but also reading and writing too.
I mean, if they don't know any of their letters, any of their numbers, they're not going to be able to succeed into any other larger or bigger grades, I should say. In 1st grade, it's more all about, okay, now we know all of our letters and sounds, let's start spelling words.
Principal Kim Britton says Shrum's making an impact in more ways than one.
Her results the past few years have been phenomenal, and so we're really proud of the hard work that she does, not just moving them to academic heights, but also helping them with their social emotional skills.
Shrum believes she provides a sense of security in her classroom.
A lot of them come from really rough backgrounds, and so it makes me feel amazing that I'm able to be that safe person and that's provide a safe place for them during the day.
Welcome.
So what would this one be?
To Kathleen Pate's classroom.
I love having both 3rd and 4th grade. It gives me a really unique opportunity to have a lot of these kids for 2 years.
Pate teaches 2 grade levels, but the classes are rather small. Pate says it's a unique opportunity at Huntsville College Preparatory School, which provides individualized education for students.
We're a fairly new school and we're kind of having to start everything from scratch. So it takes a lot of hard work and it takes a lot of effort, but really seeing it come together is a reward enough to keep going and keep wanting to start new things.
Pate said she's been here since its inception, teaching for 4 years.
I've been in it for the long haul here at HCPS.
Pate also is the longest tenured teacher.
I've always enjoyed being a leader, so I don't take that role lightly, and I try and put forth wisdom, but it's really special.
She says she enjoys teaching, but it wasn't her first stop.
I've always loved kids, and my previous job was in public relations, and the corporate world was just not for me.
And her students, like Ian Edwards, loves to learn in her class.
She's a fun teacher and she's very nice. She thinks about funny things and the most random things.
Her classroom's always moving, they're always busy, always going, and she's so dedicated.
And what motivates Pate every day?
Really seeing their progress, so getting to come in here and see it finally click for them and see how excited they are and passionate about learning is really special.
We'd normally
1, 2, 3 number 3s
welcome you to a teacher's classroom, but for Virginia Abbott,
Down, around, and put on a hat to make the number 5.
we welcome you to one of her many classrooms.
It's very different than a traditional teacher, but it's exciting.
Abbott, a special education teacher, meeting students where they are with a song or two.
Around and put on a hat.
We're just practicing writing our numbers, which is where that song came into play.
Abbott says she's been a teacher for 6 years, 2 of those here at Mill Creek Elementary. Her love for education goes way back.
I was fortunate to have some very creative teachers growing up, and
I think it just inspired me to want to do that as well. I feel like I put on like a Broadway show for my kids every day. It's fun.
And Abbott hopes to make it fun by integrating interactive activities in subjects like math.
Right now in kindergarten, we're still learning on number identification and how to write our numbers.
Her colleague, Principal Nathan Wilson, sees her dedication.
Her kids love her and she loves them. It starts with relationships, and she does a tremendous job of connecting with her kids.
And Abbott says it's that one-on-one connection that encourages her kids.
I get to develop that relationship with them because I have a lot of time devoted to just them.
Abbott knows obstacles lie ahead.
I just want to encourage them to do their best in school because sometimes they do face a lot of challenges that are different to just a typical child, and I just want to see them succeed.
What came first?
Meat.
2 shoes go clomp, clomp.
Mrs. Megan Smith from Highland Park Elementary School. Smith has been teaching at this school for 6 years, 18 overall in education, spending most of it teaching first graders. Smith says her love for teaching runs deep, back to when she was a student.
I've known since I was a little girl that I wanted to be a teacher because I had such fabulous teachers myself, and I just knew this was my calling.
And the much younger students, well, Smith knows it requires learning to be more catchy and creative.
At this age, engagement is important because they need to be moving, they need to be manipulating.
The lesson on this day is all about storytelling.
We have been working on sequencing stories, telling stories from beginning, middle, and end. I feel like if I can instill that at such a young age, then I can help them to become successful adults.
I asked her peers about what can sometimes be a thankless job, but her principal says it's bigger than receiving praise.
She doesn't do what she does for those thanks. It's not for that external gratification. I think the internal gratification that she gets from, changing lives and incorporating those kids' lives for the better.
Smith says progress is what motivates her every day.
Seeing their growth from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, and just remembering my why I'm here, why do I need to do this, why do I want to do this.
Spend a day in Rico Moore's class.
We'll be in the 7th grade club. Okay, Bert?
And you'll learn
before Thanksgiving break.
It's more to math than what meets the eye.
I just think I'm not done yet.
Behind those lenses is a superpower he's had for some 23 years. 3 of those years, a specialty in math.
Every year I get the same question, when am I ever going to use this in life?
But that superpower wasn't always there.
I failed 5th grade. I dropped out of high school. I dropped out of college.
It took superheroes to help.
One of the struggles I did have was reading. And what got me into reading was comics. I lost myself in the comics.
His love for comics turned into a love for teaching kids how to defeat that villain called math.
I let them know that math is a game. And so if you just know the rules, because math does have rules, just become the best player.
Just ask these students.
If you move to a space, you have to answer a math question.
Kids creating board games to master math.
I love the subject math. It's just, I used to not like math at all, but then I started understanding it more because I was learning more.
Moore uses online games too.
Sometimes he lets us play games, or the math, if you need help, he'll come to help you.
Mr. Moore kind of encourages us to, instead of being on grade level, be above grade level.
I asked Moore if a student believes he's a superhero. He says it's more important that he believes in them.
I think that's the greatest power you can have. They don't care how smart I am or if I know math, because Lord knows I always make mistakes with them. What they care about is that they know I believe in them.
For Emily Haddon.
Gobble, gobble, pick a feather, make it holler.
Teaching has been her whole life.
My mom will tell you I played as a teacher when I was little, and so I knew that was my dream.
She's done it for 13 years.
Reality kind of set, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go be a pharmacist. I changed multiple times, but my heart was always there, so I went back.
And she spent 3 of them teaching kindergarten.
I got to experience a kindergarten classroom, and I was like, oh my gosh, my heart just exploded.
Reading is fundamental, but
reading is just not natural. It's not natural for our brains to want to do it. Kids still want to play.
But what is fundamental for Haddon is making it fun too.
So we come up with a saying, or I came up with a saying, and I just cut the feathers and gave them CVC words, and they're reading, but they have no clue that they're reading. Like, they're just having fun. Love them, love them.
So when she was surprised as top teacher,
I've never seen you get emotional before. We're so
it was a surprise to her peers to see Haddon's emotions.
She always is just so even and mellow, and to see her reaction today when we came in and presented the award was quite emotional for me as well. Miss Haddon does pour her heart and soul into those children, and she did state that those are her babies, and so they very much so are.
And for Haddon, it's more than that love of her students learning. It's them enjoying what they learn too.
So if you make it fun and they're doing it over and over in different areas, it is going to stick with them.
Let's try this one.
Destiny Ferguson's class.
There you go. Good job fixing. I love my job. It's just every day I'm coming into a different environment.
Her love for teaching goes back to her love for learning.
Growing up, I always just loved school. I've loved school. I love going to school. I love learning.
Ferguson's taught 7 years overall. 2 of those years as a special education resource teacher. A good friend inspiring her to do what she does now.
I actually grew up with a student who was on the spectrum, who was like my best friend, and I kind of buddied up with him.
She was buddied up with him, and now she's buddied up with her students.
I just like to get a really good relationship with them. We have little surprises for them. They have reinforcements that they get to earn, and just every day just showing up and making sure that they feel loved and safe, and just ready to learn.
And for Ferguson, every day she feels she and her students are winning the day.
The big thing about special education that I love is, in the general education classroom, you're celebrating wins every single day, but in the special education classroom, you're celebrating small wins every day.
Ferguson says her students feel it too.
I love seeing the excitement of kids, and I love being able to celebrate those big wins or small wins.
Assistant Principal Jacob Guerin says Ferguson fosters an environment where her students can feel like winners.
Yeah, Ms. Ferguson does a fantastic job working with our students. She, makes them feel safe, accepted. She does a good job in working on a lot of, skills that we need to be successful here.
We like to have fun too, so every day it's just something different, and that's kind of why I love my job.
Hey guys!
Never a dull moment.
Y'all ready to show what you know?
In Emily Mallory's class.
Good job!
Mallory is motivated by her students' wide eyes and bright smiles.
Their faces. Every day, their faces.
In all her 24 years at Williams Elementary School,
sound it out first.
3 of those 24 years, she's taught kindergartners.
Lots of singing, lots of dancing, lots of rhyming, making up silly stuff, reading stories about what we're learning, things like that.
Mallory knows she has to be creative.
We are actually learning to read 3-letter words today. We actually have our Elf in the Shelf started, so they're all excited about that. They want the elf to know what they're doing every day, and they'll read to the elf and do different things like that.
She was tapped to be a kindergarten teacher because of her special connection with the littles.
Actually, the assistant principal saw me with the kindergartners after school one day and said that I would be a good kindergarten teacher, and so she moved me down.
Her principal, Tanisha Cummings, says her personality radiates.
She's always bright and bubbly and ready to just take on any task that we give her. Her students, she loves them. And as you can see, they love her.
And for Mallory, her energy sparks an opportunity for more fun in the classroom.
I love what I do every day. Every day it's a new adventure with this bunch. The hugs that I get from them every day. And not only the kindergartners, but the kids who've had me that are in 8th grade will still run and hug me.
Welcome to
I always loved marine science in general.
Mr. McKibben's classroom.
We just finished up Shark Week, so we dissected a shark.
And if you can't tell, he teaches science and has a special interest in marine science.
I really wanted to instill my passion in others for that marine science. I really wanted to push kids and have them have fun in the areas that I always had fun in.
His goal is to keep his students engaged, but not just inside his classroom.
That's probably like once in a lifetime experience of diving with a tiger shark.
But outside too, by encouraging students to be good stewards of their community and beyond.
We were talking about hurricanes at that point in my Marine class, and a lot of the kids were wondering about the tracks and stuff, and we were looking at it.
Mr. McKibben spearheaded relief efforts at James Clemens High School for people impacted by Hurricane Helene. It was a large donation made to Doomsday Haunted Attraction, who were accepting donations at the time.
I thought if we had been in the path, we would be relying on outside resources to come in and help. And so that's when I said, okay, why don't I have a big audience? I have not only the kids in my class, but I also coach soccer. And so I looked at all that and said, why don't we pool those resources and try to get some things donated.
His principal, Kerry Donaldson Jr., says McKibben has a heart to lead and love wherever he is.
So he truly loves the students, he loves the community, and he loves helping people in need. So we're truly honored to have him here, and I just want to thank him.
And he has a heart to teach.
Really getting that, that next generation of scientists out there.
We've got deep roots here at Danville.
For Danville Neal, elementary school teacher Emily Allred.
Born and raised, and that's where our family is.
This is her home away from home.
I love it. I love teaching. Reading's my thing, and I love reading and all things language.
Allred said she's been teaching the subjects for 5 years, and for her, teaching goes beyond kids learning in their seats. She keeps them on their toes, and they keep her on her toes too.
So a lot of moving around just to keep them engaged and laughing a lot. Anything that we can make a joke out of. They go vote, so they go stand by where they want to answer their question.
And just like those busybodies stay moving in her classroom, she does too in more ways than one, shifting roles and adjusting to change. Just ask her principal, Tara Morrow.
She is willing to do whatever it takes. She goes above and beyond for each child that she has. This is her first year to be in 4th grade. She was a 3rd grade teacher previously, and she has just been a wonderful addition to our 4th grade team, and she is just a rock star.
Allred says taking on a different grade was definitely something new, but...
So I love it. I was a little concerned because I was used to having one classroom all day long, and so now I split and I have 41 students. I love having the split classrooms because you see more kids, and they're funny.
And what keeps Allred coming back?
The kids.
And for Allred, these kids bring joy to the job that she does.
At the end of the day, no matter how crazy it is, or even if we have a bad day, there's always positive every day because of them.
'Tis the season.
Since I can remember, I have always wanted to be a teacher.
To be jolly, and for kindergarten teacher Perla Crump.
I love being around kids.
Joy is year-round. Crump began teaching at Geraldine Elementary School in October.
I just grew fond to the teachers and to the students, and so this was my top pick.
She had been studying at Athens State University for early education, while simultaneously working as a translator.
To help me put them inside.
Her peers here at Geraldine couldn't deny her skills, hoping she would be a teacher and translator upon earning her degree.
That helps them and it gives me a peace of mind that I'm able to help and just lend a helping hand to them.
Crump believes it helps bridge a gap and break any language barrier at an early age.
That really helps the kids. Like it brightens up their day knowing that someone is able to understand them and someone can help them.
And Crump says it helps by keeping her students engaged.
Right now we're doing, I'm teaching Venn diagrams, and so right now we're using a lot of interaction with just our hands.
Literacy specialist Deetha Johnson says she's seen the effort and results.
She is so wonderful in the classroom. When we tested this particular student, like they had rock bottom scores. We just did our middle of the year testing, and he was the highest one in the class.
A passion that speaks for itself. Crump is living her dream, she says.
That's just always been my dream, and I'm finally getting to fulfill it.
Caitlin Sparkman's journey to education.
I thought I was going into the medical field, and I was not cut out for the medical field.
Started off differently.
So teaching was always something that I loved when I was growing up.
Sparkman has been teaching for 8 years at Ardmore High School.
I just started as a teacher's aide, and it grew my love for special education.
And Sparkman hasn't looked back since.
You want bubble letters?
Teaching students in special education.
Their lives just mean so much. Like, people define them as their disability, but it's not a disability. It's just how they function in everyday life.
Sparkman says her students get on-the-job training too at places including Chick-fil-A and
we also go to L&S, which is a food store here.
a store that is right up the road from Ardmore High.
We walk there and they help stock the shelves and they are wonderful at it. Like, they have told us, hey, we're ready to hire them. Like, when they get of age, like, let's let them be hired.
Principal Stephen Baugh says she does so much more beyond the classroom.
I mean, she truly cares about her kids. Not only, the curriculum that we have for them, but she's taken them to ball games to perform baseball games, basketball games. They go out and do real world things to get, on-the-job training. So she's magnificent at what she does.
Sparkman believes there are no bounds to what her kids can achieve.
There's no limitations to them. They are perfectly capable of doing everything that we're able to do.
Okay, ready?
For Tessa Atkins.
Okay, we're gonna do our secret number game again. So,
teaching at Rainbow Elementary School is a first.
Erase your boards, erase your boards.
For many reasons. It's her first year teaching.
I've loved it so far.
First grade. Atkins was intimidated at first.
You learn how to read in first grade, and I was like, can I teach first graders how to read?
But years ago, she got a head start by teaching during the pandemic.
We actually got to graduate early. We didn't have to finish our credits, but I had a 6-year-old brother at home that was actually in first grade. So I kind of took over as his classroom teacher, and that was so fun.
Atkins knows it requires active participation.
It's just sitting, taking notes, writing on worksheets. It is not developmentally appropriate, and it is boring.
She has workstations, and on this day, at this time, it was all about math.
This is actually getting them engaged in the learning process. So we do a lot of hands-on movement. I like to integrate all of that kind of stuff.
Her principal, Quentin Turner, believes as fun as it is for Atkins kids to learn, it's also fun for her to teach.
She actually enjoys teaching. She puts in the time, the effort needed in order to be a dedicated educator here at Rainbow, which we want all of our teachers to be. Ms. Atkins is that example of a dedicated, hardworking, innovative teacher.
And Atkins says she's in it for the long haul.
I hope a long, long time. I love it. It's so challenging, but I can't imagine doing any other job because I love kids and I love learning, and I think that teaching, it is such it's a calling.
In Nancy Gaddis's class.
I'm sure y'all understood direct democracy.
She'll take you around the world and back.
I really love history. I'm extremely passionate about it.
She's from Scottsboro and says she's taught for 12 years. Gaddis has spent 3 of them here at Buckhorn Middle School.
I really like working with kids.
Gaddis is excited about their growth.
It's a pleasure to see where they start at the beginning of the year, and then when they leave you, you see how much that they've grown.
One of her students, Kate Brandon, says Gaddis is the best because
she always encourages us to do our best, and when we need help with things, she's just so ready and willing to help us with anything that we need help with.
Brandon says Gaddis makes learning fun too.
When we were learning about the Great Wall of China, she was telling us a lot about all of the guards and everything like that and the trade routes, and it just made me want to learn more about all of that stuff.
It's lessons like these that Brandon likes, and right now, Gaddis says her students are learning about Greece.
So we've talked a lot about democracy and whatnot lately. It's cool to see them get into it and get involved and see, the roots of democracy.
Her principal, Justina Wills, says her impact is far.
Mrs. Gaddis is always positive in her interactions with students and with adults. She's always willing to give a helping hand.
Gaddis hopes what they learn is more than a lesson in school.
I think it's really important for the kids to have a better understanding of the past so that they can understand why things are the way they are. You make a difference in their lives, so it's very rewarding.
The heart valves prevent blood.
It's all about matters of the heart.
What does the heart have to do?
For anatomy and physical science teacher, Lamarick Owens. In fact, East Lawrence High School is his home, and it's where his heart is.
I graduated from here. This is my 21st year teaching, so I came back home last year to try to make an impact here.
Owens initially wanted to be a dentist, later turning to education.
I felt like education was where I needed to be. And not looking back anymore, and this is the last 21 years, so I guess I was right on that because I enjoy every day of it.
He teaches, but he also tackles sports. Coach Owens is what he's also called, coaching football and basketball over the years from Montgomery to Elmore County. But
this place built me, so I wanted to come back and make an impact here. Whether it's community, classroom, football field, basketball court, I just wanted to come back and try to make an impact because it made me who I am.
Owens says he enjoys teaching.
Being a teacher, it's not the daily routine of most jobs. Most jobs, you go to your job, you know your assignment, you do it, go home. Every day here is different. Kids are different.
And the kids enjoy learning. Just ask his kid, his son, McKinley Owens.
He deserves it. He's a nice teacher. My friends, Alonzo, Garcia, he said his sister told him my dad was a nice teacher. He's a good football coach and stuff.
Owens hopes his students walk away ready for the world.
I just want them to leave with a good personal experience, knowing that Coach Owens came every day. He cares about us. He wants to educate us. He wants us to learn.
For Cassidy Tolles,
I like it.
Learning.
You gonna cut it out?
Isn't limited to the four corners of her classroom.
We do have garden club once a week. We have a group that comes out and helps the students learn about plants and how they're made and the different things that help them grow.
That learning is here at Morris Elementary School's greenhouse. Tolles has been teaching for 7 years. This year at Morris is her first. She just started in August.
I've just always loved working with kids and just like helping them see that they can do great things and grow and just the potential that they have.
She teaches 4th grade, all subjects.
I love it. I feel great. I wake up just excited to come to work every day.
But wants to keep her students hands-on and on their toes.
I like to do a lot of like hands-on games and activities when we're doing centers. I feel like a lot of kids, if they're just sitting writing, they get bored, but I like to build games into it so they can work together.
Her principal, Dr. Tanya Smith, says Tolles' way of teaching is one that inspires.
She hit the ground running with effective instruction. She builds relationships with her students. Her classroom is engaging and inviting, and we are very pleased at the work that she's done here.
Tolles says their love for learning compels her to believe she's making an impact in education.
Just seeing the kids light up when they come to school, it makes me feel like I'm doing a good thing because they're happy to be here. I know a lot of times kids may not love coming to school, but if you show that you love it and you want them to be here, they'll want to come.
In Karen Stevenson's class,
I take kids in a small group setting and try to meet their needs individually.
It's all about math.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Stevenson taught students for 27 years, most of them in high school. But the last 4 she spent teaching middle schoolers.
I wanted something different, and I wanted a challenge, and that's what I got.
Stevenson says it's a good challenge, though.
Kind of kept me on my toes. And I like the change, to have to do new things. It just makes me dig a little deeper.
She says since taking on middle school students, she's able to address the math gap before they move on to high school.
This made me back up and dig a little deeper into the why behind some of the things I was teaching at the high school. Now I see why the kids were doing things the way they were doing and where the gaps might be from when they would get to me at high school to what maybe I could do at middle school.
Her colleague, Brad Newton, has been the principal at Decatur Middle School for as long as she's been here, and he's seen a lot.
She does an excellent job of providing individualized instruction for each of her students. She really digs into their strengths and weaknesses and helps build those strengths and bring up those weaknesses.
Stevenson says the students have a desire to learn and improve in areas where they struggle.
They've gotten better about coming to me, like if they need help for a test that's coming up, they're like, will you help us study for this?
It's moments like these that Stevenson says makes it worth getting up every morning.
I just love these kids. I do. I love to see them smile. I love to see the light bulbs go off. I love to just be there. It's the little hugs and the hi, Miss Stevenson, how are you today? It just makes it worth it.
When you meet Brianna Tanner,
hey girl,
it's more than just hello.
You know, a little hug, a little high five goes a long way.
Whether it's in the hall or the classroom.
They're definitely our kids, and we do our very best to make sure that they know that from AM all the way to the PM.
And Tanner's kiddos are...
Yes, my kinder darlings. I love them.
She gets to interact with kids of all ages, working as an extended day teacher too. But it's something about those kinder darlings.
Everything is the most exciting thing for them. Everything is really big for them. And they're also at that foundational stage in life. You can really help them to become who they are going to be in life. You can affirm them. You can help guide them in their right way. And they also just give like the best hugs.
Tanner has been at Madison Elementary School for 4 years, and her principal, Wendy Farrow, says Tanner always exudes enthusiasm.
Just always has a smile on her face and a positive attitude, even when things may not be, going her way or having a bad day, but she's just always positive.
Here are some of Tanner's favorite things to do in her classroom.
We count, we draw, we write, but some of my favorite things really just to do is just to really talk to them and build relationships with them. And we do journals, we write letters to each other, so just keeping our community really strong is probably my favorite thing about the classroom.
Tanner admits it's not always an easy journey with her kinders.
Absolutely, it's definitely challenging some days, but I think the thing that keeps me the most motivated is knowing that I'm planting a seed every day and their families get to water it, and then we get to watch them grow and become who they're supposed to be. And I hope that they remember me. If anything, I hope that they always remember me.
Everyone always kind of joked like, oh, you're a history major, you're going to be a teacher.
Little did Whitney Andrews know she would later become one.
I kind of had to come to a realization that it was what I wanted to do and it was perfect for me, and I was, ready to pursue it.
Andrews teaches global studies for 8th graders. She's taught at Randolph School for 15 years, and for Andrews,
I stay pretty busy.
She's recently picked up the role of middle school dean of academic support, and when she's not keeping students on track.
We focus on peace and conflict around the world, and so we look at international relations, we look at a variety of topics from territory and boundary disputes to human rights issues.
Andrews hopes her students are able to think critically about the world around them.
Really kind of the big picture is giving them context for what's happening around the world around them, but also giving them a little bit of glimmers of hope that there are solutions to these big problems.
One of her students, Gracelyn Towns, is one of several students going to DC this year. It's a class trip, and Towns believes it's opportunities like these that expose her to the world.
It helps me understand history a lot more, and especially the history that's going on around me currently and not just in the past. And it helps you really put things into perspective a lot better.
Head of the middle school, Jennifer Ragsdale, says Andrews is a balancing act in the classroom.
She's really the perfect combination of challenging her students to be the best version of themselves and offering them the support they need to reach their potential.
And Andrews says she loves being that role model for her students.
I think you can't work in a school or a middle school unless you love what you do.
In John Talley's 7th grade science class.
Feel the burn. Let's go. Feel the burn.
He keeps students on their feet.
We're going over muscles, how they work with other body systems, going over muscle soreness, so arm circles, squats, things like that.
It's the lesson of the day.
We're learning about the human body.
Talley has taught for 4 years at Buckhorn Middle School.
Don't mind me. All right, Ryan, get them out there nice and straight.
And sometimes his curriculum includes students learning an exercise, quite literally.
And the kids either enjoy it or hate it this day because they either don't want to work out at all or they want to show off, how well they can do each of those.
But whether they like the exercise or not, they're locked in to learning.
So just trying to get them in the lab as much as you can, or getting things where they get to get up and move and be creative.
When Talley isn't in the classroom, you'll likely find him coaching softball or football.
Football, I don't know, something about the game I really enjoy, really love, and want to kind of get these kids interested in that.
Buckhorn principal Justina Wills says he knows how to keep students on their toes.
He is organized and structured, but also knows how to engage students and just have fun.
Talley says improving his students' well-being motivates him to come in every day.
Being able to come in here every day and hopefully help these kids, enjoy being here a little bit, helping them get a little bit better, even if they're not actually learning as much science as they possibly could that day, at least build good habits that can help them succeed and be, do something good with their lives. It's just rewarding, to be able to actually see the change you can make in kids, whether it be in sports or in the classroom.
It's all about drama.
I love it.
In Macy Latner's class.
It's all I've done my whole life.
The stars have aligned for much of Latner's life,
I auditioned for a play when I was 5 years old, and it is all I've ever done since.
Her love of the performing arts now taught to a future generation of actors.
This is my 4th year, and I would say so far it feels like my best year, which is awesome. It's been the most fun I've had, I think, in the 4 years.
Latner says she splits her time, teaching some days at Benjamin Davis Elementary and others at Leon Sheffield Magnet.
But it very much feels like one, because we have a lot of siblings that are at each and that sort of thing.
On this day, she was at Leon Sheffield.
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti.
Teaching students like her niece, Hallie Latner.
I like that we get to sometimes perform and read from scripts and stuff.
Hallie recently starred in the school's play, Shrek the Musical, playing as
a do-log worker.
Hallie is one of the 500 to 600 students Latner says she teaches. Many of them star students in the Shrek play.
We had some knockout stars this year, and everybody got to see them, and it was so rewarding because some of them have never had a line in a play in their life.
Latner says there's many skills to gain for kids performing on stage.
We have to put on a show a lot in our lives in situations that you can't really imagine having to at work, in job interviews, speaking skills.
Latner says it's the confidence they gain that shines the brightest.
I have students that at the beginning of the year will say a few words to me, and I'm nervous to even give them a script, and by the end of the year they're jumping up with confidence.
Two.
And they separate for each constellation.
Courtney Van Hoven's 5th grade class.
I love trying to make a difference with the kids and seeing them grow and change and finding exciting moments as they learn.
Courtney teaches 5th graders and was drawn to Holy Spirit Regional Catholic School because of her grandmother.
Very, very strong in her faith as a Catholic and has taught us a lot about bringing that into life.
It's Van Hoven's 4th year at Holy Spirit Regional, and she brings joy in and outside her classroom through cheer.
I just found an outlet with, actually it was a fellow parent and teacher that was here, and we found it was a good thing to kind of bring these girls together who maybe aren't really the basketball player or the soccer player, still wanted to be on a team and work with other people and to help build their confidence.
Just ask one of her students and cheerleaders, Stella Braden.
Miss Van Hoven definitely deserves this because she is the best teacher ever. It's very fun because when we end practice and there's enough time, we play games, and we always have dances to perform at the pep rallies and the basketball games.
Principal Regina Duffy believes it's her dedication to education that stands out.
Miss Van Hoven's greatest asset is her love of her students and her dynamic teaching. She goes above and beyond to work with them throughout the day, and her extracurricular activities, being the cheer coach and being at all the afternoon sports events well into the evening, is unstoppable.
With bringing faith into lessons, I want to teach the students that they don't have to do things independently on their own, that even when they're nervous, they can go to prayer, they can lean on their faith to help them grow.
To
get a partner, and you're going to create a flyer for your business.
Johnny Sue Bear's class.
What about a food truck for dogs?
Bear is an instructor.
I love kids.
Helping kids in grades 6 through 12 from around the globe learn English at Excel School. Most of her students are Spanish speakers, but
we have French, and we have Chinese, we have Arabic, we have Vietnamese, we have Japanese.
She's been at Excel for nearly 10 years.
I just want them to have learning experiences that they'll love school.
Bear says what motivates her every day is the ability to see them grow.
When they receive scholarships, when they go off to college and do things that, other students don't even dream about doing.
She also loves to see them succeed beyond the classroom in life.
It's just so wonderful, and then when I see them out of school and they've graduated and then have their own children, it's amazing.
And it's that connection that impresses colleagues like Principal Marianne Hodling.
She really makes an effort to genuinely connect with the students. The students truly trust her, and they really know that she loves them. She is one of the most fabulous teachers I have ever worked with, ever in my career in education, and she is so deserving of this award.
Bear believes learning languages is an opportunity for everyone to stay connected.
We are a multicultural, world. We're global, and all kids need to learn multiple languages.
High school teacher.
1,500 pieces of evidence
Patty Owens.
I love being curious, and I am a lifelong learner.
She's taken her curiosity from the Rockies of Colorado to the Tennessee Valley, and she says she's motivated every day to teach.
The people I work with and these kids, just seeing them understand, and they love forensics, seeing them get into it and talk about what's happening is everything to me.
In addition to teaching forensics,
they get to decide what they want to learn about. So there are some famous cases out there. You guys, let's talk about John Benet Ramsey.
Owens teaches environmental science too. Senior McKenna Craig says she's learning about more than just science in Owens' classroom.
This class means a lot to me because she's taught me about life skills and technical skills.
And although Craig doesn't plan to make a career out of these subjects, she's pursuing science in a different way.
I'm in cosmetology at the tech school, so I'll be a hairstylist right after school. But I feel like this is just a good thing to learn because, I mean, it's cool and it's your science, so why not have fun while you're trying to learn?
And it's the fun, Administrator Gia Russell says, that helps maintain Owens' connection with the kids.
Being from out of state, she brought a lot of different perspectives into science, and so she just kind of fit right in with our Athens High School family, and our kids have just gravitated to her classes.
Owens leaving us with a message and motto for her students.
I hope they just always are curious like me. And I hope they're successful and they never give up. And I have in the back of my classroom, I have a little sign. No matter how hard it is, there's always a lesson to be learned.
Cody Reagan's fourth grade class.
We have Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, Slytherin, and Gryffindor.
Is where you enter the wizardly world of English and language arts.
But the most important thing is what type of essay are we writing today?
Oh, and Harry Potter too. For student Henry Guerrero, Mr. Riggins makes learning the subject fun.
He's a pretty good teacher. You can learn a lot because he teaches good.
Riggins says he was inspired by an educator before him.
I started out in social studies, but I decided to become a teacher because I had a teacher as a senior that instilled confidence in me, and he believed in me and saw me, and I wanted to do the same thing for kids.
And Riggins believes it's the progress that motivates him to bring the magic every day.
I love watching them grow every day. I challenge them and push them, and it's just so cool to see their abilities and confidence grow every day in a measurable way.
For example, today they learned a little bit about the spell of storytelling.
They're writing these narratives based on a nonfiction text about dolphins. So it's not necessarily fun, but it's challenging, and I try to teach them that not every day is going to be fun, but every day is going to give you something that you can be proud of.
Principal Matt Scott says it's the creativity that keeps Riggins and his students connected.
He is committed to his students. Mr. Riggins really impresses me every day, but he makes a connection to his kids. He builds relationships with his kids, and that's where it starts.
I hope that they always remember how I made them feel. I always hope that they remember how much I cared for them, first of all, but how much I believed in their ability to accomplish great things with effort.
We're taking a field trip from Sparkman High School to...
We are going to work at the St. Vincent de Paul thrift store.
It's the day in the life of transition specialist Cam Broadway.
Okay, so we'll throw it out.
A unique role within Madison County school system.
There are 3 of us that do what I'm lucky enough to do.
Broadway prepares special needs students for secondary life post-graduation.
We get to do some different things sometimes too, and things they might not have seen.
Some of the things students do is job shadowing.
When we go to do actual work activities like that, I'll take a smaller group, just 2 or 3.
And sometimes Broadway takes the whole class, but regardless of how big or small her group is, she hopes they leave her class ready for the world.
We want them to be as independent as they can be. Some will be able to be employed independently, some will be able to just be able to accompany their family to recreation events or to the grocery store, things like that, and they can help, and so we try to sort of help them figure ways to deal with those things if they need coping skills for that.
Principal Todd Dryford says Broadway goes above and beyond.
She kind of likes to work in the shadows a little bit, but those kids love her and everybody who's back there. So yeah, she's very well deserving of that award.
It does work. Okay, great. We'll put it in our pencil bucket.
Broadway says it's the exposure that makes a huge impact on her students' lives.
By the end of it, you see students that had they not had that experience, you might have never known and they might have never known that after they graduate, or maybe even before, they can go out in the community and work, gain employment just with a little training, and then they can do a gainful task, you know, like anyone else would.
Hailing from Haleyville,
I'm fresh into the classroom, but I love it. Still loving every day of it.
Emily Tidwell.
I'm new to Lawrence County, but I love it here. Everybody's been welcoming.
Has made Moulton her home, teaching 8th grade world history here for 2 years.
I decided world history because growing up in school, you always see male teachers who teach history, and I was like, I want to be a female history teacher, and I want to make it fun.
Take a look inside her classroom and you'll see
how Tidwell feels when she gives fouls.
Tidwell's goal is to make learning fun.
The fun part is just how the stuff we study you can relate to your own life, your own world, or how, like the beginning of the year, we start off learning about how humans evolved.
It's the shift in her students' perspective that motivates Tidwell every day.
And just seeing that spark in their eye of like, how cool, and for them to realize how, you know, we live in the United States and Alabama, there's more people across the world. It's not just the United States or Canada.
One of her former students, 9th grader Alyssa Merrill, had that spark in her eye.
I've always enjoyed history, but Miss Tidwell just made it kind of like my favorite subject. She's so passionate about it, and she just made our projects very fun and like easy to learn. She's given me like a standard to hold my history teachers to, and so like if they don't meet that, then I'm just kind of like, oh.
Tidwell is setting a standard and having her own special place in history.
They need to know that yesterday is history, they're in history, and we're going to study history forever.
Teacher.
And what you think red represents for the night's outfit.
Becky May.
I connect with them through teaching history. Like the kids are the passion, and then I just reach them through teaching history.
It's May's 10th year at Whitesburg Middle School and her 17th year as a teacher.
My real passion is just people and places, so it actually is just natural for me to want to be curious about the ancients and groups of people, and you know, try to spark that curiosity in the kids too.
May sparks that curiosity in her students through creativity.
We're becoming knights, and the kids are playing in a game-based simulation to see which group is going to become the best knight by making choices and winning or losing points based on that.
One of May's students, Miguel Sells, enjoys integrating fun activities like these into his education.
She's one of the best teachers here, in my opinion. Yeah, she always makes it like very fun and like for us to understand, and she doesn't give us like too much work. She's always reasonable.
May has inspired many students, including the children of parent Hannah Alderson.
She has taught 4 of them history, and I think one of them also had a career prep class with her a couple of years ago as well. So
Alderson's eldest is 23 years old, and she still has 2 more kids that could have May as a teacher.
She's definitely an incredible history teacher and brings it to life.
May's goal is that her students leave her classroom as better versions of themselves.
My hope is that through being in my classroom, they feel good about themselves. They leave with confidence and curiosity. I really like them, so I think when they see that I really like them, they can leave liking themselves a little better too.
Meet these little youngins. Wait, not those, these.
That age is a sponge. They just take in all the information.
These are Carla Drake's first graders at Oakwood Adventist Academy, and they learn a lot in her class.
Teaching is one of the best, most rewarding professions that are out there for shaping the minds of our young people. It is a passion that I have always had. I love children.
Drake has been a teacher for 25 years, but she's only taught at OAA for 2 years.
For the life science, I felt that incorporating chickens and hatching chickens and incubating chickens would be more fun than just reading about it and just seeing a video, but actually doing it.
The kiddos.
Just to see the children. They were so excited.
Even had a space that served as a hospital for the chicks. This was a project Drake started her first year at Oakwood, the chickens eventually going to a student's parent, Adrienne Reed, who has land of her own.
She took those chickens. We got eggs from those chickens, and these are the babies of those chickens. So talk about a full circle of life.
Both parents and peers say Drake is changing lives too.
My son Judah was in her first grade class, and it was just such a wonderful experience. I mean, she just literally changed my son's life.
It's only been 2 years, but it seems like it's been a long time. She has made a tremendous impact in our schools. Just her initiative, her innovative ideas.
Drake bringing it back full circle, hoping her chicks live, learn, and love about the giver of life.
Just to know that they know about life and that God is love and God created these creatures and that we are to take care of them and love them.
I'm going to give you the answers to your study guides.
Mackenzie Crook's classroom.
I've always had a passion working with kids. I worked for the state 3 years before I started teaching, and I just knew from the beginning that I just had a passion to work with kids and just love on kids.
If you can't tell,
all right, so working on your study guide.
She teaches 10th grade English and language arts.
It was because a lot of my English teachers in high school inspired me. They just loved on me. I was always able to go in their classrooms.
And while the teachers she had inspired her back then, her own students now inspire and motivate her too.
Kids like Javen, for sure. They make my job way easy.
Meet Javen Jones.
We read this book called Life Up High.
It's the student who nominated Crook.
I mean, out of all my years of school, coming from preschool all the way to 10th grade, having her was the best.
Jones says it's her passion and making her students feel like they're her own that makes her the best.
She really has a place in my heart for caring for her students and everybody.
Oh, and her work doesn't stop in the classroom.
She's an amazing coach. Seeing her coach softball on Monday and Tuesday nights, coming in the next day, you know, energized and happy to be here.
I played softball in high school, and I've just always loved the sport. And so when I came, they asked would I be willing to help, and I said, of course, and just hit the ground running.
Crook says she enjoys keeping her students engaged, whether it's in the classroom or on the field.
I think that it just shows that every child is different and every child is important. And so just seeing their individual styles and creativity just explores that for them.
If you know of a teacher who deserves to be honored as a FOX54 Top Teacher, nominate them at fox54.com and they'll be in consideration when Top Teacher returns in September. We'd like to take this time to thank our Top Teacher sponsor, Calhoun Community College, for all their help in making sure top teachers across the Tennessee Valley get the support and recognition they all deserve. For all of us at Fox 54 News, I'm Kenesha Dees, wishing you all a safe and happy summer.